Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. This is how I really am feeling, though. Okay. Let's keep going first. We're blessed when we come and when we go. Come on in, y'all. Down every stronghold. Hi, EJ. Welcome in. Thank you for tapping in with us this Saturday morning. How was your week? Type back in. Hey. You guys, oh, thank you. Yes, so I am so excited for you guys to be joining in this morning. Hi. Welcome in, you guys. I'm so excited. Again, if you don't know who I am, I'm P, known as Priscilla as well. I am the founder of Crown Him Presents. What we do here at Crown Presents is our goal is to build a national network for Christian young adults through social fun events. So we do game nights, comedy shows, meetups, 2135. We meeting up, having fun, and still keeping our morals and values and repping Christ through the whole process. So if you guys want to know more about our events, feel free to go to crownhimpresents.com/events. Check it out. We also support other causes. So we have fundraisers going on. Like one we do consistently is Bowling with Benefits, where we support a group that's going on a mission trip to Kenya in 2020. So we do bowling events and but some of the proceeds go to that group so that they can build up the materials to be able to be a blessing out there. Hi, Junior. Welcome in, you guys. Hi, good morning, Josiah. You guys, I'm going to be fangirling this whole live. I'm going to let you know right now. Okay, so Financially Intentional is ran by Nasima. Hopefully I'm saying her name right. Nasima. All right. I don't know, she probably doesn't know this, but I was there when she first started her page on Instagram. And I was like, okay, she's saying that she's conquering $1 million. Okay. And the next thing I know, while Crown Presents was still doing this thing, she's like at 20K, talking about how she's paid off that much, giving advice. Every week she posts a question, interacting with her followers, just talking about finances. Like, what was you guys' biggest challenge this week? How you guys were successful this week? Dropping nuggets throughout the week as well. So her page is really a blessing. So if you guys have a moment, go ahead and click over to her page and follow her. I know personally because I am your age, okay, guys? So we know even if we didn't go to college, we've made some financial decisions that probably weren't in the best interest for us. Okay? So not only will her page shed light on those myths that are out there about finances, but it will drop nuggets about where to go in the future, how to invest, and things like that. I think her story is just super dope. Sometimes we think that, okay, how do we turn that down? Sometimes we think that people who are successful, like, always have started off successful. And as you guys get to know Nasima's story, like, hers hasn't always been picture perfect. She was raised by a single dad. You know, typically it's a single mom, but she was raised by a single dad. And then her dream was to become a nurse. But during her track as an adulthood, she found herself unemployed for a whole year applying for nursing school. And she wanted to become a nurse because, as all of us, we want to travel the world, live luxuriously. And when she actually got into her work, she was working in San Francisco and she wasn't doing that much of that. And so I just wanted to, bring to the fact that, just because people are doing financially well today, they all started somewhere. They all had to make choices and sacrifices to get where they were. And I am so excited that she is being transparent enough to share those moments with us so that as we go through, or maybe y'all already on the other end, congratulations, but I'm on the other side where it's I want to get to where you are, as she can share her wisdom that she learned through her process and her journey. So I am so excited. And this is an interactive live. So as we go throughout this talk, feel free to write in your questions because we're going to be reading them. And so we want you guys to have a moment with her just as much as Crown Presents does, okay? So if you guys don't mind me, give her a warm welcome as we bring her onto the live. just go ahead and put some hearts in there. Thank you guys all for tuning in. So can you guys give her some hearts as she gets in here? Welcome in, welcome in.
Hey,
good morning, people.
Good morning. Good morning.
I just want to say, you guys, happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
Happy Mother's
Yes,
Day to everybody in the crowd, as well as you guys. She's blessed us so much with her time. She literally just worked a whole shift last night.
I did.
She worked a whole night shift as a nurse. And hopped on here with us, y'all, this morning. So please, as you jump in, you wave, say hey, say what's up, give some hearts, show some love. And again, this is an interactive live, so feel free to put your questions in here. You know, Nasima, she is a financial coach, so if you're not in right now getting your questions in, it's gonna be charged after that, y'all. So.
Right.
So y'all might as well go ahead and jump your questions in while y'all can.
Exactly.
Again, I am Priscilla, founder of Crown Hem Presents. We're based in the Bay Area, a place where Christian young adults can connect, do social fun events. And Nasima is a nurse that had $1 million in debt, and in 2.5 years, she karate chopped it out her life.
Something like that.
And we are trying to get like her. Someone said, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Yes, Nasima, we are so appreciative that you're sharing your journey, your moments in between you paying it off, and then after that, just reaching back to your community and making sure that you lift us up in the process.
It's all about giving back, ultimately. Yeah.
So hopefully we are all blessed by her, you guys. As always, on my Instagram lives, I ask you guys to grab a notebook and a pen because they are really blessing us with knowledge. They've gone through something, the entrepreneurs that we talk to, they've gone through something and they're reaching back to give us their gems and their wisdom. So please grab a pen and notepad and start jotting down as she speaks. So, Nasima, feel free to go ahead and introduce your website, your podcast, and what you're about.
So I'm Nasima of Financially Intentional. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook as Financially Intentional. I have a website, financiallyintentional.com. And my whole goal is to really elevate people in this financially, because most of us weren't taught about finances. And so we've had to struggle through a lot of situations. And I just want to create a roadmap for everyone to really know that financial independence is possible, and just give people a clear path to get there, because for most of us it wasn't clear, and we don't have a lot of examples in our lives of people who have attained financial independence. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trying to bring that world down to not down, but to us.
Yeah.
And when I say us, I say most of my demographic is younger Black professional women. So, you know, I think that we deserve financial freedom. Our families deserve financial freedom. We deserve to we deserve not to have to keep on starting over from zero and we need to break the cycle of generational poverty.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. That's my mission.
Okay, really, really appreciate it. Now, you are in the Bay Area. Were you always raised and born in the Bay Area?
So I am originally from Oakland, West Oakland, California.
Okay.
I'm so Oakland. I was actually born in my house in West Oakland. So like a rarity, like a real home birth. Like when I say I'm from West Oakland, I'm from West Oakland. Okay. But I actually, right now, I currently live in Reno.
Okay.
But I still work in Fremont. I still work in the Bay Area, so I do a extra long commute. But I'm moving back soon, so you know, you guys got to hook up on the low for a house.
Okay, we'll be in touch then. We'll be in touch.
Right.
Wow. So yeah, you do have a commute, but we'll be more than happy to have you back in the Bay Area as a shining bright light. Okay, and so I saw in the comments when we posted the video of you coming on to our live. One person was like, I don't even have like a credit line to get $1 million in debt.
Right.
And so we want to put into perspective the ratio. So
Yeah.
at the time when you became financially aware, you were making six figures.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So I would hope so, but I know a lot of people that don't make six figures that have multiple like hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And then also put into perspective that included in that $1 million was a house in the Bay. So, you know, everything, you know, needs to be put into perspective. Yes, I was making six figures, but I would hope that if I was making I would hope to be making six figures if I had that much debt.
Yeah.
So most of my debt was composed of, sorry.
No, you're fine.
14-hour shifts, sorry. Composed.
We're appreciative of your time, so take your time, whatever you need. Get the coffee.
Right. It was composed of like student loans, my house, cars, things like that. So, but like I said, the big chunk of it was the house. So if I took out the house, it was a little over like $250,000 in student loan debt. My student loans, I mean, not student loan, but just overall debt outside of my house. My student loans in itself was like $200,000. So, yeah, I know it's ridiculous.
Okay,
yeah.
So to backtrack to our college years here,
mm-hmm.
How was that season for your life? Because I'm sure while you was racking up this debt, were you even thinking about financial awareness? Were you even thinking like this would affect me or my family at all? How was like as you went to college and was accumulating all of that?
So, you know, and I'm not sure if my experience is unique, but you know, when you grow up in a not the best socioeconomic status, like a lot of times when you're smart, people lean on you to make sure that you just go to college. So the priority is to go to college and go to the best college, and that's by any means necessary. So I was a school snob. I was really smart. I was in all the AP classes. And so, you know, my whole goal was to get into the best college. Like I didn't even think about finances. Like that wasn't even on my mind. Like I didn't even understand. So I went to USC for undergrad and for grad school.
Oh, you went to the top school.
Right. The most expensive school, the University of Spoiled Children. Yeah, so, but truth be told, that's not where all my loans came from. So, I remember getting my acceptance letter from USC, and right after getting that acceptance letter, you know, the financial aid letter comes, and I just remember seeing all these numbers, like how much it was going to cost. And I was just like, oh, wow, that's a lot of, like, I couldn't even conceptualize how much money that was.
Yeah.
But I had never seen that much money written down on paper. And USC is way more expensive now. I think when I was going to USC, and I graduated from high school in 1999, when I was going to USC, it was $40,000 a year.
And
now,
1999.
In 1999. So I was very fortunate actually, because like you said, I was raised by a single dad. We were hella broke. Like he didn't have any extra money. So because USC is a private school, they have a whole lot of endowments. So I was able to come out of USC for 6 years, so for my undergrad education and for grad school, with only owing $40,000 in debt.
Wow,
so yeah, they have a lot of grant money. So that's not where my debt came from. So the story around like the rest of the $160,000 in student loan debt is that initially I wanted to be a doctor. And when I got into USC, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a doctor. The environment in which physicians practicing was changing, and I was like, this is not something that I'm really interested in. I didn't like disease processes and all that stuff. So after my freshman year, I changed majors, and then I eventually got a master's in healthcare administration. So I was working in Southern California in healthcare administration for 5 years. And I didn't like administration. So I was like, there's got to be a better way. So I love that, like, a lot of my friends were nurses, and they had so much autonomy. Like, they would go on trips, they would take assignments abroad, they would live other places. And I was like, I want that.
Living their best life.
That's awesome. Like, I don't want to be in these offices, in these corporate like places. I was always the brownest person in the room, and I was always the youngest person in the room. And because I knew what I was talking about a lot, I wasn't well accepted.
Right.
And plus I don't really have a good game face. Like I kind of like just kind of put it out there.
You're from the
So that environment did not fit me. So I was like, okay, so after I already had a master's degree, I went back to school. And the school that I got accepted to was UCSF. So UCSF, because it's a graduate school, has a nursing component to it, but that program is a self-funded program, meaning that it doesn't get the exemptions that other state schools get. So that 1 year, that first year was $80,000 because for 1 year of school, because you cannot work. So you have to take out aid to cover your expenses. And then the program in itself, because you have to, you're paying for the teachers, you're paying for the facilities, you're paying for your clinicals, you're paying for all that stuff in the program. Wow. So that's where a lot of it came from. And then I went on to get my master's in nursing. So I have 2 master's degrees. So I became a nurse practitioner, but that's where the student loan debt came from. That was a hell of a long way to explain that. But
no, but thank you for breaking it down, because 80,000 for 1 year.
Yeah.
Because you do have to pay for everything. Like you're paying for everything, the school being run and everything.
Exactly. Yes.
How did you get in your head that you could kill the nursing game? Like you can just go back and be like, oh, I can do this. You know, nursing degrees are not like easy. They're not like a breeze. So like,
no, that was by far my hardest degree. But I've just always been that kind of person that if I put my mind to something, I achieve it. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't any doubt. It was a struggle. UCSF was a very challenging environment to study in. It was a very challenging place to be in. I've lived different places in my life, but I've never experienced the level of racism that I've experienced at UCSF. It was a struggle. So like that part of nursing school on top of the rigor of the academics was definitely hard, but you know, one monkey don't stop the show. Like,
okay,
I got it done.
Y'all write that saying down. One monkey don't stop the show. Yeah. Now, if you came out with some T-shirts with that,
you know.
Okay, and then. So now this is just me being a young woman in the career force. You have a business administration master's experience, and you come out with a nursing degree with a master's. Okay, so when you get back in the workforce, what was they talking to you like? What were they even saying to you like?
You know what? It didn't matter. I actually make the same amount of money as because I just work as a staff nurse, not just, but. I make the same amount of money as somebody with an associate's degree. So, you know, I talked a lot about optimizing degrees, like nursing degrees. The thing that I did not know, I was just naive to the fact, was that, you know, because I worked in the Bay Area when I came out of nursing school, I was, you know, in the highest paying region in the world, basically.
Oh, wow.
So I started off like in my job, like in the recession. I remember there was a recession because they weren't hiring nurses. So by grace. So let me tell you something about humility. So when I quit my job in administration, I basically I moved to Houston, and I just I didn't even have to take a job. I was like living off of unemployment, and I was just knocking out prereqs to get into nursing school. Like that was my full-time job. I moved back to Oakland because my grandfather got sick, and so I had to come take care of him. And then I found out that I got into UCSF. During that process, I took a job as a secretary and through a temp agency. So I went from being a top level executive to being a secretary at this hospital under all the nurse managers, right?
Wow.
And I wasn't even tripping because, you know, it was the recession. Nobody was getting jobs. Like I couldn't get a temp job in nursing administration. I didn't really want to do that. Mm-hmm. So I just took whatever job I had. I think I made $12 an hour or something crazy like that. And I did that job until I went to nursing school. And I graduated from nursing school in 2009. And like I said, in the middle of recession. And we had 83 people in my nursing class. And out of the 83 people that were in my nursing class, and by the way, I was the only Black person in my class. Black person, not Black woman, Black person in my class. There were only 3 people that got a job. and I got a job because I took that job
God is good.
as a secretary.
God is good.
And everybody knew what was up with me, and they loved me, and they trusted me. And when I came out of nursing school, all the managers lined up and said, what position do you want? What floor do you want to work on? When people were struggling to get jobs.
God is good.
Yeah. So that's how that worked.
Wow. Okay, so let's pause here live. Let's just take a moment to digest this transparent moment that she shared with us. She will put herself in a position where she was at the bottom pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Working, not complaining. Well, I don't know if you were complaining or not.
I wasn't.
Not complaining and literally just working and just being so grateful. Just being so grateful to have a source of income. Because you knew everybody else was struggling, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So grateful, and that paid off for her in the long run.
Yeah.
Wow, that's because I know I can think of some situations that I don't want to be in because it's not ideal.
Yeah.
That I might turn my nose up to or like look at it funny, make a funny face. But really those can be my blessings.
Right. You
So
never know.
I'm gonna take that and make sure when I continue to look at opportunities,
yes,
that I be like, okay, it might not in the front look pretty or have the payoff that I'm looking for, the glory that I think I should deserve. But it really might make connections, really might bless me in the long run. Someone said, patience, being humble, and shining your light. Just subscribe to your website. Oh, thank God. Thank you so much, you guys. Go to financiallyintentional.com. Sign up for her website, emailing list, you guys, and sign up for her. Follow her on Instagram. She puts out content that just blesses you throughout the week when it comes to your finances. Somebody else said, faithful with a little. Come on now, Junior. Yes, thank you for sharing.
So that was another long story to say that I came out of school and went into a position where I was making the same amount of money as somebody with an associate's degree. But I love what I do. So I'm a labor and delivery nurse. I am a licensed nurse practitioner, but I don't even use that because I make a lot of money doing what I do. I would actually make less going into the role as a nurse practitioner. And I just have fun delivering babies. So yeah, so those degrees, even though they cost me a lot, if I would have practiced just being a nurse somewhere else, I probably wouldn't be in such a good position. But yeah, as a nurse in the Bay Area, it's pretty easy to make multiple six figures. And because I've typically always had two jobs, I have made a pretty decent salary.
2 jobs.
Yeah, but it's not the same because nursing is like 12 hours, so 3 days a week is a full-time job, and I've always had like a full-time job and then like a per diem or like I just put in whatever hours I want to at another job. Yeah.
And then so just to flash forward, like your dad right now, and what does he say to you? Like, is he like so proud? Is he just like, wow, you know what, God is good, like we made it out. Ooh, all those times we sacrificed. Like, is he just so proud?
I don't know. My dad does not even know what I do. He's like, you're a nurse, right? Like,
He's doing all right.
You have this little thing. Like, I don't think he really knows what I do. And I mean, but you know what? The little things you don't think that people know what you do, but then like my stepmom told me like a couple months ago, like, you know what, you'll be so proud of your dad because he's debt free now. And I'm like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so he was low key watching, but my dad does not talk. So he never said anything to me. Like, he's super quiet. So yeah.
And so now you finally got yourself into the career that you like. And now, what was the moment for you? Because now you can do your traveling, you can live your best life now. So what moment hit you that was like, okay, no, I have a mess and I want to clean it up?
So like, I tell this story, like I had everything to make it seem like on paper, everything looked really good. Had a big old house in Brentwood, luxury car, I had the 6-figure income. But like at the end of the day, inside, I knew I was hella broke. I had no money in my savings. I had nothing for my daughter. If something were to happen to me, I had no kind of backup, and
Yeah.
that did not sit well with me. I knew I had to do better, if not for myself, but for her.
Okay.
So I was just like, yeah, like something has to change. And so I just set myself on this course to learn about finances. And I thought it was just like about investing. And then I realized that it was really this debt that was holding me back, and and like the student loan debt that was holding me back. And like I was making payments of $1,900 a month on my student loans alone.
You paying
Just
people's
alone.
rent. You're paying people's rent.
Yeah, girl. In student loans, and only like $300 of that was going to the principal. So like it wasn't even moving. And I was like, dang, this, like, so the balances just kept on increasing and increasing, even though I was paying every month. And so it was hurting me. But I didn't realize that, because people tell you when you go to school, student loans, that's considered good debt, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not. That is debt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was really holding me back from what I needed to achieve, what I wanted to achieve financially. So I just set on a path to kind of like learn as much as I can, and start knocking the debt out. And once I started knocking the debt out and being intentional with all of my money, then I started to get this feeling of freedom, like this weight had lifted off of me, even though it wasn't gone and I was still on this journey. I was like, this feels amazing. Like I have so much opportunity. Like in doing this, like I discovered, people think like they don't have enough money to like give back or to tithe and do all those kind of things. But all this money started, like, it seemed like it was flowing to me, but like I never made more money. I just was able to hit my goals.
Yeah.
Like when I say hit my goals, like I was paying down my student loans like $4,000 to $6,000 a month.
Go ahead.
And I didn't even, when I started on this journey, I did not have $5 in my savings account. And so, and I was always off the top giving 10%. If it wasn't to church, I would just straight up give to my friends. Like, I had a friend on die, and I was just like, here, lump sum, here. Like
just being a blessing.
Yeah. And this is through paying down this money. So I just, that feeling, I was like, this is amazing. And imagine the power that we could have collectively as a community if we all were able to do this, if we were all free from the strain of financial burden. And so I really selfishly like just started on this journey so I can share it with my friends. Most of my friends, we went to high school together, and we have daughters. Most of us, there's like one son, two boys, but most of us have daughters. And I was like, I have to share this with them. But I'm the kind of person that doesn't like to repeat myself. So I was like, listen, if I put this information in like a blog format or like on social media, will you guys like absorb it? Like, will you take it in? Like, will you do that? And they was like, yeah. So that's how Financially Intentional was born. Just so I can help my friends have the same feeling as me. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It literally was innocent. You literally started just for your circle. You literally was just, oh no, like, let me just say, I'm not to repeat myself. But you were just like,
yeah,
like for your circle, it was really just your passion. It really was for your passion. It wasn't from no financial greed, no nothing like that.
No, it was just from the bottom of my heart. Like, let me share this with you because I want you guys to experience this, and I want us to just do better. And I knew that, okay, because, this is during the time people are marching, Black Lives Matter, all these things are coming up. And I'm just like, that things don't really start changing until you are able to hit people in their pockets. When you have money to affect economics, that's when things change. And we can march and do all these things and boycott and protest. But at the end of the day, if you can't be in the same room as those people because you're not in the same economic place, or you don't have the status of those people because of whatever is holding you back financially, you really can't impact change.
That's really
and so I just, saw that this is an opportunity for us to really elevate as a community, because we can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what a lot of us are trying to do, because we're so like generationally burdened with a lot of issues financially that it's hard for us to just advance in life in general, and then to bring others up with us and to affect the social change that we really, really need. I mean, there's no reason why there still should be racism and discrimination in the Bay Area in 2018, 2019, you know, or 2008 and 9 when I was in school. It should be no reason why, but it's because those people have a firm stronghold on the money in the community, and that's, you know,
unfortunately,
at the end of the day, they can do what they want.
That's facts. All right, I hope y'all. I'm gonna like this. That segment right there is gonna be titled "Can't Pour from an Empty Cup," and I hope you guys are realizing that Asima is dropping